So this is just going to be a real quick video about rhubarb and simple season extension. So this is the stage that rhubarb is at, just planted in the ground, with the amount of heat units that it's received from our climate so far this spring. And I wanted to just demonstrate quickly how a very simple amount of season extension can push your rhubarb weeks ahead without, doing any harm to it or really putting in hardly any effort, really. So this is a row of rhubarb that we've put some just some very simple low hoops on, and this last plant didn't get under the hoops, and so this was a plant that just is coming up just as it would, unprotected and without any season extension. And then 2 feet away here we have our first plant that was under the low hoop, and you can see, and then there's the low hoops. Let me just zoom out here. It's just a real basic, these are just very simple low hoops, and that's just a piece of scrap greenhouse plastic. But I mean, you could use builder's plastic or whatever. Greenhouse plastic is obviously much better. It's heavier and it's got UV protector. You can use it over and over again. And we have lots of scrap because we make our own high tunnels and stuff. So this is just a scrap piece of greenhouse plastic that we put over this row of rhubarb, I'd say about 2.5 weeks ago. And you can see this rhubarb here is almost ready to harvest, and it's actually flowering. So you can see how far along it is. That's really a harvestable stalk. I mean, we're gonna get it, let it go a little more, but we might be bringing rhubarb to market next week from this little patch. So yeah, if you have a big planting of rhubarb, I think it makes a lot of sense to throw a low tunnel over it when you first, the snow comes off of the rhubarb patch. Put a low tunnel over like half, and you're gonna extend your rhubarb season by, you'll get harvestable rhubarb 2 or 3 weeks earlier than you would normally, just with, really nothing. And at this point, we're probably going to take this plastic off and switch to floating row cover, simply because once the plants have gotten to this point where they're actually touching the plastic, then you can see you start to get these sort of necrotic areas where the leaves are actually freezing to the surface of the plastic on frosty nights. So if you go with row cover, that doesn't happen. And they're far enough along that row cover is more than adequate protection, so they'll just keep growing like this. They're awake and they're pushing. So what this does is just warms up the soil and gives them, a few more heat units, and they just scream out of the ground with just this minimalist low tunnel. So and you could probably use a cold frame or something else if you had a tall enough cold frame. Obviously rhubarb plants get really big, but yeah, it's really cool, and you can really extend your rhubarb. So no protection, low tunnel, easy. Okay, thanks a lot for watching.